In the latest escalation of hostilities in the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war, Russia has launched what Ukrainian officials are calling massive missile and drone strikes across various regions of Ukraine. These attacks come just days after Ukraine carried out a significant drone offensive deep into Russian territory, targeting infrastructure and reportedly causing fires at oil refineries and energy facilities. This sequence of events signals a continued tit-for-tat escalation, with both sides demonstrating increased capabilities and willingness to strike beyond frontline zones. According to Ukrainian authorities, Russia launched more than 50 missiles and drones overnight, targeting cities including Kyiv, Kharkiv, Dnipro, and Lviv. Ukrainian air defenses reportedly intercepted many of the projectiles, but some still managed to hit infrastructure and civilian areas, causing power outages and injuring several people. Emergency services responded to fires and damage across different regions, underscoring the broad reach of the assault. Although no deaths have been reported so far, the psychological and material toll on civilians continues to grow as these strikes become more frequent. The timing of Russia's retaliation suggests a direct response to Ukraine's recent drone operations, which targeted Russian oil infrastructure near the border and even reached as far as Tatarstan. Ukrainian military officials haven't officially confirmed all the attacks on Russian soil, but they have openly admitted expanding the scope of their drone program. These attacks are part of Ukraine's broader effort to degrade Russia's warfighting capacity by hitting supply lines, fuel depots, and logistical networks that support military operations in occupied Ukrainian territories. Analysts note that both sides are increasingly relying on drones and long-range strikes as battlefield momentum remains largely static along the front lines. While Ukraine has been struggling to regain significant ground in the east and south, it is focusing on asymmetric warfare to compensate for limited manpower and weapons. Russia, in turn, has escalated air and missile assaults aimed not only at Ukraine's military assets, but also at its energy grid and infrastructure, a tactic that echoes its strategy from previous winters. International reactions have been swift but measured. NATO officials condemned Russia's latest strikes, reaffirming their support for Ukraine but stopping short of committing to new military aid in response to this specific wave of attacks. Meanwhile, the EU has urged restraint and emphasized the need for de-escalation, even as it prepares another round of sanctions targeting Russia's military-industrial complex. The ongoing back-and-forth of cross-border strikes points to a grim reality. Both Russia and Ukraine are preparing for a long conflict, with fewer diplomatic efforts in sight and more focus on outlasting the other side economically and militarily. For civilians on both sides of the border, especially in areas increasingly subjected to air raids and drone attacks, the humanitarian cost continues to rise. As the war grinds on with no clear end in sight, the scope and sophistication of these strikes may only increase, dragging more regions into the conflict and making peace even more elusive.